everyone. So today we will solve Leetcode problem 57, insert interval. We will be solving it using Golang. So this problem states that we are given an array of intervals and we are given a new interval. Now the array of intervals here is already sorted and it is sorted in ascending order and they are non-overlapping. So every interval in this intervals array will be non-overlapping in nature and will be sorted in ascending order. Now we need to insert this new interval into the intervals array so that the resultant interval array does not have overlapping intervals as well as it remains sorted. So if we take this example, we'll pick 1 3 and insert it into a resultant array. Then we will check if our 1 3 overlaps with our new interval. If it overlaps with our new interval, we will update the new interval's elements such that its first element will be the minimum of the overlapping interval, like minimum of 1 and 2, which is 1, and its second element will be the maximum of the overlapping interval, likewise maximum of 5 and 3. So the new interval will become 1 comma 5, and then we will insert 1 comma 5 instead of 1 comma 3. To understand it better, let's take this example. So while traversing through the array, what we will do is first we will check whether our current interval that we are at overlaps with our new interval or not. If the current interval that we are at does not overlap and lies on the left side of the new interval, like this. Here 1 comma 2 does not overlap with 4 comma 8 and it lies on the left side of 4 comma 8. Lies on the left side of 4 comma 8. So we'll just insert 1 comma 2 as is, and we'll keep on doing so until this condition, that means this interval lies on the left side of this, matches. Now if our current interval does not lie on the left side of our new interval, then that means if our current interval does not lie on the left side of a new interval and it overlaps, if our current interval do not lie on the left side and it overlaps with our new interval, then that means we will reassign our new intervals first and second value to the minimum and the maximum of the overlapping intervals value. And then when our new interval does not stops overlapping with our current interval, we will insert new interval, and then we'll proceed by adding all the rest of the intervals in our resultant array. Because when we have first added all the left side intervals and then we have added our new interval value after updating the new intervals elements, and then we have added all the rest of the elements, all the rest of the intervals, our resultant array will be sorted and will contain non-overlapping elements. So now let's code this up to understand it better. First I'll create a resultant array. A resultant array will be of int double slice, and its initial length will be 0. I'll then traverse through the array. I'll initialize I index as 0, and I'll then traverse to the array until I is less than intervals, and it does not overlap. It does not overlap and it stays on the left side. On the left side, that means interval 1 will be less than a new interval 0. So intervals I1 is less than new interval 0. That means it stays on the left side, so we'll just append this result to our resultant array intervals I, and we'll increase I pointer. Now if it does not stay on the left side and it overlaps with our new interval, that means if I is less than intervals and our interval 0 is less than equal to new interval 1. So this checks that our current interval does not stay on the left side and it overlaps with our new interval. This condition checks that it does not, like this condition is run, and now this condition checks that our new interval overlaps with our current interval. So we'll reassign our new interval value. So our new interval value will be new intervals first element value will be minimum of new interval first first value, here I will not count, and our interval's first value. Similarly, our second value will be maximum of new interval 1, interval 1. Right, so min and max are not defined in golang beforehand, so we'll first declare these values, we'll declare the functions. Minimum will take x int y int, it will return an int now, and we'll check if x is less than y, will return x, else we will return y. I'll copy this thing because max is also almost same logic except yes, right. Also we'll increase I here. And now since we have covered all the overlapping intervals value, we will just append the updated new interval to a resultant array. And after appending the new interval to a resultant array, we will copy the rest of the leftover intervals to a resultant array as well. So for I is less than length of intervals, we will just append res intervals I, and we will return res. Now let's run this up and see if it works. And there is an error. What is the error? It will be intervals I 0. Now let's run this up again. And there was a memory allocation error. We need to increase I here. I'll run this again now. And we can see it works. I'll submit it. And we can see it's pretty efficient. Do let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much and bye.